Let's rap about effective listening to social media channels. That's our topic for today. December 2nd, by the way, our topic is planning your social marketing for 2012. I don't think December 2nd is a good date to kick off your social media planning for 2012, okay? I'm hoping that that's kind of going on now and that you can come on December 2nd with some ideas that you want to flesh out, maybe toss around to the group, and we can refine those and formulate them and take them, to the next level, so to speak. But effective listening to social media channels is something that we re-explore every once in a while. It's our topic for today. And I want to get, first of all, what we think about, what we think listening is. When we say social media listening, who's got an idea as to what that is? No one has an idea as to what social media. Let's go over here. The microphone's over here, so we'll go over here first. Let me address the microphone. We always get these comments about you can't hear the microphone. The microphone is for Dale, which reminds me, Dale, I apologize. One of our sponsors here is Dale Honing Videography, and that's why this camera's in the middle of this thing, okay? So Dale does this stuff, okay? So if you ever miss a meeting, which is not a good idea, but if you ever miss a meeting or if you forget something and you want to go back and see what it is, Dale chronicles all of these things. All right, and he puts them up to the YouTube channel, and we've got a tab now on our Webolutions Facebook page, facebook.com/Webolutions, where you can just go and see all the latest videos there. And Dale takes these things and chops them down and basically makes a chronology of everything that happens in the meeting. And at our last meetup in, was it now September? I can't believe it's almost Halloween. In our last meetup in September, Dale offered a $99 customer testimonial video special. Is that right? Did I say that correctly? Right. Okay. And the returns on it he got are so good that he's offered it again to the group. So if you're present, as it seems most of you are, I'll be here all week. You can just tell Dale that you're interested in this. $99. Is there anybody here who actually took Dale up on his offer? I know at least a couple of people did. Okay. Well, here's another chance, okay? $99 to go get a customer testimonial on a professional video that is there for your use and your marketing, social, online, what have you, forever, is a very powerful deal. It's hard not to see the return on investment for $99 for that kind of thing. So Dale Honing, Dale at DaleHoning, HONNING.com, or it would seem, since we're all here together, you can just walk up to Dale, tug him on the shoulder, and say, okay, let's do it. Okay, thank you for that. And I apologize, Dale, for not calling you out earlier. All right, now, what's listening?
Bill Hopkins, Remax Alliance. To me, I think listening is reading, listening or watching your content and evaluating it.
Okay, watching your content and evaluating it. Okay, is that the extent of it? Or is there, I like that. Kevin? Your competitors' content. All right, so you know who your competitors are. And your clients' competitors. Okay, all right. And you're listening there. You're watching for what? Yes, sir?
Most people think public relations is I put a press release out and I tell people about me. Public relations is actually an exchange of information where you listen to your customers. It's a novel marketing idea. Ask your customers what they want and then give it to them. So this gives you a channel to actually get feedback. It helps your business adapt to a changing environment.
Okay. Suzanne? Good. Okay.
Finding out who's talking to you.
Who's talking to you. Okay. All right. Now that's interesting. Who's finding out who's talking to you instead of who's talking about you. All right. Now, how are you? So why would we do this? Why would we spend time doing this? What's the point? Yes.
It gives us information.
What kind of information?
About Pamela Meyer with Keller Williams. It gives us information about what's going on in their lives. I have clients who are friends. I have family who are friends. Sometimes family I don't see who are friends. Mm-hmm. And it lets me know it lets me know about things that are happening that maybe we haven't spoken about yet, or so
okay. It
tunes me in.
All right. Now, Pamela, you're a realtor, mm-hmm. So your approach is very much. You've probably got clients with whom you've grown, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, I know our realtor sold me and my wife our first house. We were 26 and told us when we were going to have to move, all right? And when she found that we were pregnant, she showed up and she said, okay, you're going to need a new house in this amount of time. And now I look back, it turns out that we've known this person for 20 years, and she's part of our lives because there's this very personal connection, right? Not everybody has that, all right? So from a business standpoint, why are we listening to competitors and clients and these kind of things? And what I'm trying to get to here is measurable ROI. What do we want to get out of this? How are we going to know when the time and the effort that we put into this has generated some return on that investment? Suzanne?
We want to get revenues out of it ultimately.
How do we get revenues out of it?
By generating leads and relationships.
Okay.
And matching customer needs better with your offering.
Okay, matching customer needs better with your offering. So when I was I used to work for a real big company here in town, and we spent a lot of money, a whole lot of money each year on, this is pre-social media, we spent a whole lot of money on audience research and how the demographics was changing, and here are our product offerings, and it was like millions of dollars, literally, that we spent on telling us who our customers were and what the marketplace was in demand. And you use that information, you go back to engineering and you say, if you build this, we can sell it, or there's a gap between what we're offering or what's available in the marketplace and what the expectation of the consumer is. We've identified a pain point that we think we can alleviate. And what I hear you saying is that especially, not just, but especially for businesses who don't have millions of dollars to go do nationwide market research, engaging with social media gives us an opportunity to talk to or to gather information from people who are most interested in using our product and engaging with us. Is that fair enough? Kevin, when you are listening to competitors and watching clients' competitors, what are you hoping to glean from that? What are you going to do with that information?
Well, because I'm more or less in advertising, I want to see what my clients' competitors are doing advertising, marketing, social media-wise, and they often tell me what they've heard. So I need to know what they know before they know it, or else my clients are going to go, how come you don't know this information? Okay. And so I don't need help looking stupid. I'm fine on my own.
Yeah. The whole how did John put this on his notes? There's no more of a time gap anymore. I feel you. I feel like that same thing. If it's out there, I ought to know about it. All right, I ought to have at least read the article that says it's out there and available. If somebody asks me about it, why else? Why are we listening? Let me ask this. So we're listening. What's effective listening? Right? How do we know? What's the difference between listening to see what's out there and saying we're doing it effectively, Deb?
I think, first of all, you start out with an intention, so you know what you're listening for, and that's where your keyword searches come in. And then have a plan for what you're going to do when you find the information. A lot of people gather a lot of information, and then it sits in one spot, and you never act on it. So know that you're going to do something with the information once you glean it.
Did everybody hear that? Well, let's move on. No. So what she said is, and what we come back to a lot in this group is, look, my deal is you've never gotten in a car and said, I wonder where it's going to take me. You know where you want to go before you set out on the journey. So, and one thing John always says is John Vahalik, when he's standing up here, will say, if you're not going to do anything with the data, don't spend the time gathering the data. So know what you want to get out of it, all right? Know what you want to get before you start gathering, spending the time and effort to have the data. And Deb basically said is have a plan for that, all right? We're big on plans here. Penny?
Hi, I'm Penny Lentz. Along that line, I was thinking you got to get into the conversation and ask some questions and listen to the responses you get.
Yeah. How many people here, let's just take a show of hands here, have a proclivity to start conversations on social networks? All right, we had to think about it here. All right, so this is a more, the fact you're showing up for a social media for business group means you have a higher proclivity, right, to actually to start these things. Statistics show that this is a very small minority of the amount of people who actually have social media accounts, a minuscule amount. If you talk about the amount of people who read blogs, who have Facebook accounts, etc., who actually engage in the social web, they engage on it, 90% engage on it in what we'll call a passive view. They'll read the stuff, they'll see what's out there, but they won't do anything that actually lets you know they're doing it. A lot of us have had this experience, right, where you write a blog, you don't think anybody read it, and then 6 months later somebody says, I got a question about what you wrote 6 months ago in this blog. Right? And at one point, half your brain gets really defensive about it. You could ask me that now, I wrote it 6 months ago, and then it's like, hey, you read my stuff, But 90% of people who have social networks are what have been called voyeurs, or the geek term for it is lurkers. Okay, they're out there lurking, right? Who don't ever show their face that they're actually engaging with you, but they're looking at what you're doing. They're looking at what you're doing. 84% of people who like your Facebook page already do business with you. So these are people who are looking to be more engaged with your business. Somebody say something and bail me out here. We got 9%. Thank you. So there's 9%. All right, we've got 90% who do or hardly ever comment on anything. All right, especially from a business perspective. 9% who will like or comment on such conversations already started, which leaves 1% of us who will actually start conversations online. Okay, so if you're a business, okay, and you want to do some listening, you might actually have to start that conversation. I think it goes in. So how can we start conversations that make it I'll hold off on that question. Yeah.
But when you say start a conversation, by just simply writing a blog, are you starting a conversation, kinda, or does it have to be something framed in the form of a question with a question mark behind it? What do you think about? Is that
The question is, are you starting a conversation by writing a blog or a microblog or putting a post out there on Facebook, or does it have to come in the form of a question?
Well, in the blog, the conversation to me is at least it has to have two people. So simply writing the blog, if there's no response, that's not a conversation. Then you have to know how to promote the blog and generate conversation. So the easiest way to me is finding whatever content that is relevant and useful to my business that is already being generated over there, and find it and leave comments, ask questions, generate conversation from there.
Okay. Anybody had any success with this? Starting conversations? A success story you want to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, from a business perspective, I'll use LinkedIn a lot, and the groups that are in there, I can really fine-tune the groups down to something that isn't interest of me or whatever. And as a group, yeah, it's really easy to pose questions or start topics and then basically just sit back and let everybody argue or talk or whatever it might happen to be and listen. So, I mean, that's a source that I think works really, really well from a business perspective,
now,
B2B perspective.
So who are you and what kind of business are you in? So we can frame
software development within the mortgage industry, more specifically, and everything. So, yeah, I mean, from a B2B type of thing, LinkedIn works really, really well as far as those kinds of groups. If it were B2C, I'd probably have to think a little differently. As far as
within the group. Right. And LinkedIn's done some stuff here to make their actual news feed more conversational, but the culture of the medium it's never going to be Facebook where it's just the whole thing is generated toward talking back at each other. If it was